Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mike Fuller Show. We're live at Walk-Ons. Coach, we're 5-3, 2-3 in the conference. Had another tough loss Friday night against North Little Rock.
It was tough. I felt like we didn't play very well. We the emotion that you need to play with in games like that wasn't there. I don't want to talk much about Conway, but unfortunately, I think our kids and I think coaches too just had a really, really hard time of putting that in the rearview mirror and getting over it, and it just wasn't the same football team that had played the first 7 weeks. Now, in saying that, it's 28-21.
Yeah,
and we got a chance to win the game. We have some big plays that we don't take advantage of, and we didn't tackle well on defense. We had a couple big plays that we gave up in the secondary that we had guys there to make plays that they've made them all year long, and just for whatever reason Friday we didn't do it.
Right. You deferred the kickoff. Had a good stop to start, and then you get a big run from Tom Ass. You think, here we go. First quarter, 7-0.
Yeah, again, like I said, you're thinking, okay, we're over the lull,
right.
But they're very. Let me say this too: the North Little Rock, they're 7-1, and they've lost one game to Conway, and they had several guys out and turned the football over a bunch. But they're a very good football. They're as good as anybody in this deal. They can beat anybody, just like I feel like we can. And so they're a good football team. They are very, very, very good on defense, especially their front seven. Their defensive line, I don't know that there's a better one in the state of Arkansas.
I agree with you there. And those kids that's about as physical football game that I've seen.
Oh, yeah, it was very physical.
Yeah.
And, we came out of it for the most part, not real banged up, but, some bumps and bruises and a bad fingernail. So, but it was a physical football game. And I was proud of our kids. They know they didn't play the way they're capable of. But they never gave up. We were in it the whole way. I mean, to the last drive, we had fourth down and whatever it was, and they drew us off sides. But we had a chance right there if we got the ball back with a little over a minute. Who knows?
Probably get 3 shots at it.
Yeah.
I don't think we had any timeouts, but probably get 3 shots at it. And I know you had some special play that you were probably going to call if we did get the ball back. I'd love to have seen what would happen. But defensively, we did a great job in the fourth quarter against that bunch. Held them to 0.
Yeah, we got better as the game went on defense. Just like I said early, gave up some big plays, didn't tackle the way we've been tackling, and you can't do that against somebody of their caliber. They've got good running backs. The receivers are really talented. I talked about their defensive line. Their offensive line's as big and as good as anybody we play. So you got to be on top of. You got to be on your A game when you play people like that.
Yeah.
And we weren't there.
Yeah, we felt like we're just a little bit flat, and again, it was probably due to the week before, which was definitely. I don't think any team would have an easy time recovering from that.
Yeah, you don't want to talk. We'd probably been better off to lose by more than to lost it the way we did. But it's tough. But it's one of those things. You got to put it in behind you, and you got to move forward. And what I keep trying to get across to our guys is, you're 5-3. You're 5-3 if you go back in those 2 games and look at 3 plays.
Yeah.
The 4th and 1 against Conway, they never touched the football.
Right.
You win that game. The 2 long pass plays Friday night, you just knock the ball down. You don't even have to intercept it.
Right.
Just knock it down. They don't score 2 of those times. You win that game.
Right.
And now you're sitting here 7-1, and we're all in a good mood. We're all feeling good. Instead, it's just the opposite. Based on 3 plays. And you arguably can go back to Bryant and throw in the 4th and 1 down on the goal line, to who knows what will happen. So we're 5-3, and you've lost to 3 of the best teams in the state. Now, we got to finish this regular season out, hopefully 7-3, number 4 seed, a home playoff game. And then the season that you play for all year starts, week 11.
That's exactly right. And you brought up the 2 pass plays. I made a comment during the broadcast. I thought the coverage was good on both those, but trying to get, maybe make a play on the ball or something. But those were 2 circus catches the one for the first down on the 3rd and long, and then the one for the touchdown.
Yeah, we had great coverage. We just didn't make a play on the ball. And, none of us can really say why we're not out there doing that job. Who knows exactly what he thought? I don't know. But he was there in the position to make it. And, they're going to make that play 9 times out of 10.
Right. And we had an interception by X that we weren't able to convert into points. I think we had a delay of game on that particular drive, and then had an interception down at the 2-yard line. But that would have been a time that you'd like to have converted, to points.
We had several opportunities. Yeah. That's one. Jack Green got an interception late in the game that was not real close, but around midfield. Mm-hmm. We put in a little trick play, double pass that we had 2 guys open, and we got a little pressure and we underthrew it and we didn't catch it. And then we had a bomb down the middle that was well thrown, and we just didn't bring it in. So we had several opportunities to score and take the lead and be in the ball and be ahead.
Exactly right. And to start the 3rd quarter, the call that was made with that go route with Tay King, that reminded me of the Little Rock Catholic game, and I'm sure that that was in your mind at that time. They were playing. Were they in cover 0?
They were cover. Yeah,
they had the safety
one,
help.
Had safety in the middle, but he wasn't going to be able to help on that. Right. So it's man to man.
Yeah, it was. What a good way to start the 3rd quarter.
Oh yeah, it was a great way to start it. And then we turn around and 3 plays later give up a big play to them. But you can go back and look at all that stuff and if this and if that. But that's what we talk about. When 2 good teams are playing, and they play the way they're supposed to play in the 4th quarter, somebody's got to make a play.
Yeah.
And you don't know when it is.
Right.
You got to make the play. And we have not done that, and the other teams have.
Well, one thing that we didn't talk about, and I didn't bring it up much during the broadcast, but Walker wasn't 100%. He had been feeling under the weather for a couple of days, and that's hard when you're dehydrated to try to get ready to play a football game. But, boy, he showed his heart. Took a lot of big hits from that big defensive line and their linebackers, and he just kept on going.
Yeah, we've had a stomach bug going around, not just our football team, but in our school. Yeah. And it's normally a 24 to 48-hour deal, and it's throwing up the other side of it and temperature.
Right.
And he got it Wednesday, and did the best he could on Friday, and then on top of that, then gets his finger messed up on his non-throwing hand. But it was a rough night for him. But again, I'm proud of him and the way he played and the way that he stayed in there and fought. And so that's how a lot of our guys are.
Yeah, he's such a good leader. He sets the standards for the others, and you've got to do that if you're a quarterback and you're a true leader. You've got to give 100% at all times. And when that happened to his finger, was that when we were in the red zone?
Yeah.
And he came back and threw a touchdown to Julian Martinez?
Well, he came when it happened. It's the time they picked him up.
Yeah, and
threw him down. And he came running towards the sideline with his finger all in blood. And I'm like, you got to go back, finish, And he did, threw a touchdown pass the next play, and got us within 28-21.
Right.
And you're like, hey, anything can happen now. Let's go.
Well, Coach, that's behind us.
Yep.
Let's talk a little bit about Cabot now. They are 6-2, 3-2 in the conference, but hey, their only 2 losses are Bryant and Conway.
Yeah, they're. We talked about this 3 weeks ago that we're fixing to go through a stretch where those teams are 7-1, 7-1, or 6-1, 6-1, and 6 and at that time they were 6-1.
Yeah.
And so we knew it was going to be tough. Cabot's a very, very good football team, very physical football team, big in the line of scrimmage.
They are big.
Good quarterback, good number 5 is as good a skill guy, receiver, return guy as we will see all year. They're well coached. Scott Reed is a heck of a football coach. Himself and myself were GAs together at Arkansas a long, long time ago. So got a lot of respect for Coach Reed and what they do. So hopefully our guys understand, the winner of this game gets a home playoff game.
Yeah.
And it's huge. And so hopefully we'll take advantage of it and get rid of the bad feelings we've had. We've had good practices. Had a really good one Wednesday.
Good.
So hopefully they're ready to put all this behind us and let's get it going in the right direction.
Well, they're a team real similar to the other ones that we've played. They'll run it a little bit more than they pass it. But Brandon Jay is the guy that you're talking about, the number 5. He is a special player. They like to get him a lot of touches, and he'll run some wildcats, some direct snaps. He's a good return guy, and he is a guy that you just can't take your eyes off of.
No, you have to contain him. You have to do a good job, know where he's at. Try again. You always ask me, what's big plays? Make them work for what they get, and don't let him hurt you.
Right.
Catching the ball, running the ball, whatever it may be.
I watched a lot of film on them when they played Bryant last week, and it looked like that they could not handle the tempo that Bryant was throwing at them. When they slowed it down a little bit, they were able to catch up, but the speed of it seemed to hurt them a little bit.
Yeah, I watched the same film you're talking about. The score was lopsided, but they actually played Bryant really good. They moved the football, and they're very good on offense. I mean, their defensive front's very good. Everybody's thrown the ball on them, and that's something we have to do to give ourselves a little bit of break on the running game. I mean, we can't just run the ball repeatedly against good football teams.
Speaking of throwing, how is Walker? Is that his left hand?
It's his left hand.
So does that affect his handling of the ball? Is he going to have to wear anything on it?
Yeah, he had surgery on his finger Monday.
I got you.
Monday, so he'll have to wear a little protective guard, and hopefully it won't affect him too much. I guess we'll see.
Well, they're coming off, the loss against Bryant, and they're going to be playing as hard as they can possibly play. They know they're coming against a good team that has the 3 losses that we do that could have gone either way. They know it as well as we do. But they are a very well-coached team, so I know that it's going to be competitive. And anything can happen when you take your eyes off the ball. So it's a game that you got to stay in it, through the 4 quarters. And like you said, you get in the 4th quarter, anything can happen. Hopefully that ball bounces our way this time.
We need it to.
Yeah.
We need it to.
Yeah, we've had a lot of things that just didn't go our way in those 3 losses, and I think we're due for that.
I hope so.
Hopefully we're so dominating that it really doesn't matter.
Well, I got a pretty good idea. This will be a 4-quarter game just like the last 2, and it'll come down to who makes that play in the 4th quarter. And it's time. We're due.
Well, Coach, good luck.
Thank you.
I'd like to get a win, and hopefully we get that home berth in the playoff.
I hope so.
Good luck.
Thank you.
You're in business to do business, not paperwork. That's where the skills of Potts & Company certified public accountants can help you succeed. Trust the experienced professionals of Potts & Company for tax preparation, bookkeeping, and other business services. Using QuickBooks for your operations? They're QuickBooks experts. The Potts & Company team can help you establish, organize, and optimize your QuickBooks for utmost effectiveness. Visit pottscpa.com to learn more.
For more than 50 years, Air Compressor Equipment Company has provided solutions for the oil, gas, and industrial markets, becoming an industry leader in custom fabrication. An unwavering focus on assembly, sales, and service means that whatever size project you have, ACEC can deliver what works. Air Compressor Equipment Company supplies to businesses working in the most demanding environments around the world, but is still a dedicated member of the Arklahoma community. Learn more at acec-ark.com. Air Compressor Equipment Company. Field tested, quality driven.
Welcome back to the Mike Fuller Show. Had a great talk with Coach about the game against North Little Rock, what's coming up against Cabot. Got Coach Little here now, our offensive line coach. This is actually your 2nd visit.
Right.
Appreciate you being here tonight, but I know why you're here. You got the big guys here. We're going to get a chance to talk to here in just a little bit. And I understand you're going to be in the heckling section, or you just want to make sure that they behave like an offensive line should.
Well, they're good men, good young men.
Right.
They're gentlemen, and I just called them and I said, look, make sure you're on your best behavior and all that. But I was just coming here to support them, and here I am.
Well, we're glad you're here. Coach Hansen was supposed to be here, the defensive line coach. A little bit under the weather, and we just found out a little while ago. So thank you for being here, and it is a good coincidence because of the offensive line. I'm looking forward to talking to these guys, Coach. I always, I get to talk to the DBs. I get to talk to the receivers and the running backs, quarterbacks and linebackers. But that offensive line, that's what makes it go.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you don't move the ball, and especially in our offense with how we like to run the ball, if we're not doing our job, we're going to have a hard time winning.
So the game against North Little Rock, I mean, that's a big physical defensive line. They held us better pass-wise, rush-wise than anybody has done so far this year. What was the reason for that you could see?
Well, you hate to admit it, but they were more physical than us,
Yeah.
and I'd love to have an opportunity to play them again.
Yeah.
We didn't have our best game, but the guys responded this week. We had a good week of practice, and we got another physical game coming up Friday night against Cabot. So I truly believe our guys will accept the challenge and rise up to it and give us a good chance to win.
Conway, North Little Rock, Cabot, that's a pretty good stretch.
Yeah.
To have to ask your guys, but that's the 7A Central. I mean, that's what you get into when you play the big boys like this. And I saw Jamani go off the field a little bit hobbled up, and he's going to be here tonight. We get to talk to him.
Right.
How's he doing? I mean,
well, he's fought through it. He's been getting treatment each day.
Yeah.
He's practiced every day, a little bit, maybe a little bit less than he normally does. But we're trying to get him well and get him to 100% for the game Friday night.
Yeah, that was a dark day when I found out that he had a meniscus tear, and we were working to get him for who knew. We didn't know how long it was going to take to get him back, but then to get him at Harbor for a little bit and get him back for Bryant, that was a real plus for us. So.
I tell you, the day he brought us that doctor's release into the coach's office, he said, "I'm ready to go. Can I play Friday?" We were happy. We were happy. But we also knew that we had to work him in and get him in shape because, he hadn't been able to do anything for, several weeks. So it's worked out really well. He had a little dinged up knee against North Little Rock. His knee brace had kind of slipped down a little bit and kind of exposed it a little bit. But, he's working. He's rehabbing every day, getting treatment. So hopefully he'll be good to go 100% Friday night.
Well, I sure hope so. And to get back in the Harbor game, that was a track meet.
Yeah.
And so, if you're going to get in shape, that's the one.
That's right.
That's the way to get started.
Yeah, there was a lot of possessions and a lot of plays in that game. So, it was a good one.
In the past, Cabot was kind of a one-dimensional team. You knew what they were going to bring every play, every game. They're a little bit different now. They're a lot more like Bryant, Conway, and the kind of offense that they run. They're going to run some direct snaps, some wildcat with Brandon Jay, but they have a quarterback that, he's pretty elusive. He can throw it, he can run it, and they've got a couple of really good running backs.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't watch much of their offense, and I know they have changed what they do with the new coaching staff and all that. But one thing that they haven't changed is their defense and them being hard-nosed, tough football players, and we've got a challenge ahead of us.
Yeah. Do you change anything this week that maybe from last week facing a team that's kind of similar to North Little Rock, maybe not as physical, but similar in the way that they run their defense?
Well, we're working on some, our combination blocks and all that. They're going to bring a lot of stunts at us.
Right.
And, it's a lot of the same of what we saw against Little Rock Catholic, only bigger and better players.
Right.
So we really, really worked hard this week on identifying the guys that we've got to pick up and identifying our combo blocks and all that kind of stuff. And I think we've done a really good job so far, and we just got to keep going towards getting better until the game.
And I know it's an offensive line mindset. They like blocking for a runner, whether it's Massey or Church. They can pick up big yards at a time. But we're going to have to do a lot of pass blocking this week because these guys can be thrown on. So I know we're going to have to implement that more than we did against North Little Rock.
And we've worked hard on identifying our pass protections and all that, and making sure that we don't let anybody come through unblocked.
Right.
So passing game is going to be very important to us this week. We would love to just be able to run the ball and get a win. but we feel like we're going to have to be more balanced to keep them off balance and give us a better chance to win.
Have you already eaten here tonight?
No, I
Buckeyes?
haven't. I haven't.
I haven't either.
I just ordered, though.
Well, I'm going to have to make sure that mine gets ordered, so as soon as I get through, it'll be ready for me. Coach Fleur already ate. Coach, thanks for sitting in here, being here. It's great to have you for the second time. I really enjoyed talking to you. But only really one question. Other question that I have is, why don't you ever take me fishing?
Well, I tell you what,
there's
there's a list of people that want to go fishing with me. So I just kind of go down the list, and right now, if the list is this long, you're right here. But I'll see what I can do about getting you on the first page of the list.
If you could do that,
okay.
Long as I stay on the eating list, that's all I really care about.
You do get to benefit from the catching of the fish by eating them. Yeah,
Thanks,
you do.
Coach. Appreciate you coming in. Coach David Little, offensive line coach. We have 3 offensive linemen we're going to get to talk to tonight, so stay with us. We'll be back.
Burton Pools and Spas. Check them out on their website, burtonpools.com. See their selection of hot spring spas, doughboy pools, and in-ground selections. As always, free spa and pool water testing. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun. burtonpools.com. Chlorine-free Baquasil pool care system. The difference is clear. burtonpools.com. With 2 locations in Fort Smith and Springdale to serve you. burtonpools.com.
At Hug Chevrolet Buick GMC, we dial 782-8940.
This is Joe Calderera with Taliano's Restaurant. We call 782-8940.
Keep warm this winter with a York high-efficiency furnace. Or for more information on endless hot water and a high-efficiency tankless water heater, give Blaylock Heating, Air, and Plumbing Services a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
Welcome back to the Mike Fleur Show. This is the time where we get to talk to some of the players, and like I was telling Coach Little, most of the time it's the DBs, it's the linebackers. We've talked to the defensive line. We've talked to running backs, quarterbacks. But you guys, the offensive line, you the big guys. Eric Barrientos.
Yes, sir.
Did I get that right?
Yes, sir.
I have been mispronouncing your name
all season.
All season long. But as of right now, we're going to do it right.
Yes,
all
sir.
right. Offensive line, number 60. You guys are responsible for the yards that Ty Massey picks up, that Sunquist Church picks up. You're responsible for giving Walker Savage time to make a read on some of these RPOs. You're responsible. Julian Martinez got a touchdown. If Walker doesn't have time to throw it, he can't make that throw. You guys are the ones responsible for that. Do you take a lot of pride in the position that you play?
Yes, sir. I mean, we don't get as much, shine as the other people, but we're out there doing just as much work as they are.
So do you, when you started playing football, how old were you?
I was about 12 years old.
That's 12 years old?
Started at Kimmons.
Yeah. What'd you play when you were at Kimmons?
I played guard back then.
Yeah. So have you always been on the line?
Yeah.
Have you always been this big?
I wasn't as big as I was back then, but, I lost some, but I gained it back in muscle.
Yeah.
Because of the off-season.
Right. So off-season pretty tough?
Yes, sir.
What do y'all do during the off-season? Since you're a junior, you're going to have to go through it again.
We lift a lot.
Yeah.
Coach Hansen gets us right with Coach Solly, so we used to be out there lifting a lot.
Man, those two guys are pretty intense, aren't they?
Yes, sir.
Who's more intense, Solly or Hansen?
Solly.
Is he? Well, he is an ex-Northside Grizzly,
yes,
and
sir.
was a linebacker, won a state championship. So he walks the walk. And so when you guys, as players, you listen to your coaches because they've already been where you're going. So it's like getting answers to all the tests. I mean, if you were getting ready to walk into a classroom and take a test and somebody told you, hey, I've got all the answers, and I'm not saying do this, all right? But if they got all the answers, you at least want to listen.
Yes, sir.
If they're the right answers. So your coaches have the right answers. So they've already been down the road that you're going down, so it's very important that you listen to them. So how much have you learned from Coach Little since you've been at Northside?
I mean, I've learned a lot. He's helped me grow as a person, grow as an offensive lineman, and just be better for the team.
I don't know if you know how excited he was before this year started about you guys and how much better this offensive line is this year than it's been in years and what that means for the team. But he was excited to get this season started just because of what you guys bring to the table. And I remember talking to James Colley, and he made the statement that he doesn't really want to pass block. He'd rather block for the run, which he was just kidding about that. But those running backs that you have, I bet you get a lot of joy seeing Ty or Sundquist break one.
Yes, sir.
Did they ever?
Even if I'm like missing a block or something, they could make a nice cut and just take it.
They're talented guys, and it's fun to have guys like that are behind you. But, picking up 3, 4, 5 yards at a time, that's very, very important. But they've got to have a little bit of daylight to do that, and that's where you guys come in. So do you work with – who's next to you on the line?
Jamani.
Jamani?
Yes, sir.
So if I was a running back, I think I want to go behind you guys.
That's what we worked on all summer.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So has Ty or Sundquist ever given you like a gift card to Chick-fil-A or anything like that?
No, sir. They tell us they appreciate us a lot.
Do they? I'd tell them I probably want a gift card or something. See if you can work that out.
You might be able to.
Okay. So what do you think about Cabot coming up? You've studied them so far in film, and
yes, sir.
How do you feel about that defensive line?
I mean, they're pretty good. Saw a bunch of those dudes last year when I was a sophomore, so we're just going to get right back at it.
Be nice to get a win, get back on that. It just feels a lot better the next week going to school after you get a win behind you. It also means a lot for the playoffs, too. The games that you have lost with Bryant, North Little Rock, Conway, those games could have gone either way. You know it. We know it. People that watch the game, they know it. So it's got to feel good that you guys have a really good chance of getting into the playoffs and going deep.
Yes, sir. It feels great. Those couple games, a couple plays, if they were made, it'd be a whole different story right now.
Yeah.
Could be undefeated or only have one loss.
It's a game of inches.
Yes, sir.
We're talking about 4th and 1. Whether it was a good spot, bad spot, regardless of that, it's always going to come down to a football here or a football there. So you've got to be on your toes every play.
Yes,
Give
sir.
100% every play, and we appreciate that you do that. And I'm going to promise you one thing. I'm going to get your name right because I'm going to be calling it a lot Friday night, okay? Because every time they score a touchdown behind you, I'm going to give you the credit.
Yes, sir. I'll tune in and watch after the game.
All right. Eric Barrientos. Number 60, thank you for stopping. How do you like being a Grizzly?
I love being a Grizzly, It's better than being a Maverick.
I like that. So you know what? You know what the best thing about you being a Grizzly? You got one more year. You're not done yet.
I'll be right back next year.
That's exactly right. Let's give it up for Eric Barrientos. We'll be back with another offensive lineman right after this.
This is a walk-on athlete. They push harder and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana.
When I talked to the Sawyers about some windows and the concrete work, they showed me several different options of things that they had done, and it all looked good. I would recommend Sawyers to anyone. If they came out and looked at my concrete, they could see the quality job that Sawyers did. They were very professional and top quality. They were on time and on budget. I am 100% satisfied with the work that they've done.
Welcome back to Walk-Ons. Had a great talk with Eric Barrientos. Now I have Adrian Falcon. He is the center, number 66, another junior on the offensive line, and I know that excites Coach Little that you guys have another year, and excites me too because I know that if our offensive line is solid, then everything else falls into place. If you don't have an offensive line, then it's tough. It is really tough. Tell me about your duties as a center. Really, what happens when you get ready to snap the ball? I mean, what's going through your mind?
So in my mind, I'm thinking about letting everyone know what the front is, how the linebackers are looking. And I need to realize and help our guys realize if a blitz is coming.
Right.
So I'm always just staring, making sure we all pick it up before we snap the ball, just so we don't mess up and mess our running backs up.
How do you communicate with your guys when you're feeling out, what's there? How do you communicate with them? Is there signals or anything?
There's not many signals. We'll just point it out whenever we're down on the line and stuff. And we'll call things out, and we'll change up how we pass block it and run block it. Combos are differently.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's you'll really just see it when we're out there.
When so many teams, and our team is the same way, that we run that pistol formation or some kind of shotgun. I don't know that I've seen Walker under center at all. That's your first responsibility, is to get a good snap.
Yes, sir.
Then you have to do whatever your responsibility is after that. So you've got a lot that goes through your mind on every play.
Yeah. Well, you see, I've just been able to process, because I've had years with it. I've been playing center since I was in 7th grade back at Chaffin. So, that's really where it taught me to understand how to play center and realize how the responsibilities work, and it's really important to get it done.
So every year that you play, has the schemes, have they gotten more complicated? I mean, as you grow with it each year, things change. I know, but I mean, from the time you were in the 7th grade to now, I'm sure there's a big difference in what you have to do as a center as opposed to what you did back then.
Oh, yes, sir. It's definitely different. Back from in 7th grade, you were just taught to snap the ball and go hit the dude right in front of you. But now you just got to really think about it schematically of where you're running it and how you need to block it and everything.
Right.
But other than that, I would say our responsibility is just make sure we open up the lane for our running backs.
If it is a pass play, so take me through, I mean, are most of them RPOs, or are there called pass plays? That's coming. I mean, because you see Walker a lot in a bootleg where he can make a decision whether to run it or throw it, which I like that type of play. But if it's a play action pass, he's got to have some time to throw it. So how do you guys, what's different in that type of play and then a play where he just turns and hands it to Ty or Sundquist?
So for us right now, with our calls, there are designated ones where we just straight pass pro, nothing downfield or anything.
Right.
And then there's others where we'll have to, sometimes you'll see me pull around and we'll do out the bootleg and all that.
Right.
But then there's other ones where we know it's either going to be a run play because they'll tell us and we'll alert it and all that. But once we see our running back, we know we can go upfield and go up and block for him.
So the team that we're getting ready to play, Cabot, defensive line, I'm sure you've looked at them. What do you think about what we're getting ready to face with Cabot?
I think they're a very good defensive team. They like to show a lot of stunts and all that, and we just got to be prepared to pick them up whenever we see it and recognize what they're going to do.
So when you were at Chaffin in the 9th grade, you had to make a decision, I guess, where you were going to go to school.
Yes, sir.
How did you make a decision to go to Northside?
Well, you see, my Coach Hansen actually was a big factor on getting me down there in the Northside. And I went to school with his kids and stuff.
Right.
So, I just got to know the coaches and all that, and I just felt that it was also a better choice for me academically and for sports.
Right.
I just thought Northside would be the way to go over the Southside.
You've been here 2 years now. This is your 2nd year. Do you feel like you've made the right decision?
Oh, yes, sir. And
awesome.
I got friends over at Southside that just would die to be over here.
It's good to be on the winning side, isn't it?
Oh, yes, sir.
I love it. Great decision. Thank you for doing it. We're so happy that you're a Grizzly, and like I was telling Eric, you got another year. That's the most exciting thing about it. Do you watch Grizzly TV after a game is over? Do you ever tune into that to see how what the broadcast is like or anything?
Oh, yes, sir. I always like to go after the game and see everything on TV and get to listen to you commentating on our games, and then also watching this coach's show. It's been real nice to be able to go home and watch that after a hard practice and a hard game.
Well, you're a dedicated young man. Let me ask you this: as a broadcaster, what can I do to give you more credit? Do you want me to highlight you, maybe tomorrow night after a pancake, or Friday night after a pancake block, or we need to talk more about the offensive line, don't we?
Yeah, yes, sir. We need recognition for the pancakes because, those guys, that's what we love to do.
Right.
Love to make our coaches happy, getting the pancake out there and then watching them break it for 50-plus yards and heading to the end zone.
Well, we'd like to see a lot of that Friday night. And first of all, thank you for being a Grizzly, and thank you for being a leader as a center. And we're looking forward to having you another year.
I'm looking forward to come back next year, but we got to
take care of business now.
Yes, sir.
Adrian Falcon, number 66. He is our center. Come see him play Friday night and get those pancake blocks. We're going to talk about him a lot on Grizzly TV. Adrian Falcon.
You're in business to do business, not paperwork. That's where the skills of Potts & Company certified public accountants can help you succeed. Trust the experienced professionals of Potts & Company for tax preparation, bookkeeping, and other business services. Using QuickBooks for your operations? They're QuickBooks experts. The Potts & Company team can help you establish, organize, and optimize your QuickBooks for utmost effectiveness. Visit pottscpa.com to learn more.
A to Z Furniture in Alma is ready to meet your furniture needs. In these trying times, with all the shortages going on, they're working hard to keep stock flowing and the warehouse filled. A to Z Furniture understands that you need your furniture in a timely manner, and they are striving to make that happen. Open 7 days a week for your convenience and offering financing and delivery, A to Z Furniture would love for you to stop in and shop today. A to Z Furniture on Highway 71 in Alma. Worth the drive to save more.
Welcome back to the Mike Fleur Show. I am happy to have number 75, junior Jamani Benton. I don't know that I was so happy after going. You put me on a roller coaster this year. You know that?
Yeah.
Because in the very beginning, when I found out that you had a meniscus tear, and the first thing I heard was, that's a season deal. He's done for the season.
They was telling me that all year that I was going to be done for the season. And then I got surgery, and then they came back and they told me 6 to 8 weeks, or 4 to 6 weeks, and nobody really believed me. And so then I came back in the time span and was back before Bryant.
Yeah. You got to play some against Harbor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went in the series, I came out of the series.
Yeah, that was the third game of the year. So the recovery was so quick. On a meniscus tear, and I don't know a lot about knee issues. I mean, I've got a bad knee right now, but nothing like that. Mine's more related to age, not physical activity. But what did they tell you as far as therapy once you had the surgery and everything?
I just had to be on my crutches. I didn't even have I didn't go do therapy.
No, you didn't?
Anything. I just came back and we that Thursday I ran, Friday I was good, and then Saturday we ran, and Sunday I ran.
Well, I saw you at Bentonville West during a scrimmage, and I remember you telling me then, I'll be back.
Yeah.
It's all good. I'm going to be back. And you were on crutches then, and I'm thinking, yeah, I hope so. Are we talking, the last part of the season, but to be able to get you back for Bryant and be full force in conference, that was a real plus for us, and we're glad that you're back. How's your knee been holding up?
It's been doing good.
Good.
It's been doing good. I hurt the left one, but it's okay.
Yeah, what happened Friday night?
I think the running back, I got beat on that play, was too far in the backfield, and then the running back.
Did he run up the back of you?
Yeah, hit me on my left side of my knee.
Yeah, so are you still pretty tender right now, or are you all right?
A little bit, but I'll be okay.
All right. So, yeah, we're going to have to be full force against Cabot. Cabot's, they're a team that's real similar to the other powers in the 7A Central, and they need a win as bad as we need a win. So it's going to be a test of the wills Friday night. So, we're going to need to be strong offensively on the offensive line and get Church and Massey back in that 100 yards apiece a game and give Walker some time to throw it. And it all comes down to you guys. So no pressure on you or anything like that, but just do the best you can.
Yes, sir.
Anything that I can do for you broadcast-wise, I know I've just got to get Eric's name right. I've got to get Adrian some press during the game. But you guys deserve it. I know that you're down there in the trenches and you don't get the recognition sometime that you should, but we're going to change that.
You can shout us out.
I can.
After each pancake or something you see?
Yeah.
Shout us out.
You going to get me some?
Yeah,
All
I
right.
got you.
I'm gonna be watching real close. Now, I have an offensive lineman, ex-offensive lineman, that's my color guy. He and I played football in college. He was center, and he also was a long snapper too. But he pays attention to that offensive line because that's what he did. Mm-hmm. And so he brings a lot of that to our attention too. And I'm going to tell him to talk it up a little bit more, about what these guys do. How's practice been this week?
Real physical. Cabot has a physical D-line. Mm-hmm. And so we gotta match it. We gotta be better than that. So that's what the practice has been like. We've been real physical this week.
I understand from watching film that it's probably a team that we can throw on. Which we didn't have a lot of success last week, and that was a very physical ball game. But we just didn't have a lot of success either way, running or throwing. This week we'd like to get back to normal, but I think that you're probably going to have more success throwing it against these guys than you have any of the Conway or Bryant or North Little Rock. So pass blocking for Walker to give him that time on a play action or even a boot, he's going to have that.
Yeah, it's so this week we've been working a lot on our pass blocking.
Yeah.
We worked a lot on that this week, so we should be all right.
Jamani, where did you play junior high ball?
Darby.
At Darby?
Yes.
What did you play when you were there? Were you on the line then?
I played right guard and nose guard.
Right. And so when you came here, you just kind of continued into staying on the line, and it's something that you enjoy, obviously.
Yes.
Do you have any plans? And I know you got one more year, which is exciting for us that you're just a junior. But when you get through playing ball, are you going to try to go play some college ball somewhere?
I definitely want to go play college ball.
So that's on your mind.
Yes, sir.
Well, you're going to get a lot of looks. I mean, you're already getting them now, but then next year, hopefully we have a really good year and give you a good shot to get into the next level.
Yes, sir.
Any predictions against Cabot?
I think we're going to win.
Okay. Yeah. Big? Just a win's a win?
A win's a win, yeah.
That's exactly right.
Ain't got to be big.
Well, Jamani, thanks for being here.
Yes, sir.
Good luck tomorrow or Friday night against Cabot. Get us back in the win column. We're looking forward to it. Get you some pancake blocks. We'll talk about it.
Yes, sir.
That's Jamani Benton, number 75. He's a junior. Come out and watch him put a pancake on these Cabot defensive line. Jamani Benton.
For more than 50 years, Air Compressor Equipment Company has provided solutions for the oil, gas, and industrial markets, becoming an industry leader in custom fabrication. An unwavering focus on assembly, sales, and service means that whatever size project you have, ACEC can deliver what works. Air Compressor Equipment Company supplies to businesses working in the most demanding environments around the world, but is still a dedicated member of the Arklahoma community. Learn more at acec-ark.com. Air Compressor Equipment Company. Field tested, quality driven.
Burton Pools and Spas. Check them out on their website, burtonpools.com. See their selection of hot spring spas, doughboy pools, and in-ground selections. As always, free spa and pool water testing. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun. burtonpools.com. Chlorine-free Baquacil pool care system. The difference is clear. burtonpools.com. With 2 locations in Fort Smith and Springdale to serve you. burtonpools.com.
Welcome back. We're in the last segment with Coach. It's the question and answer period. Coach, first of all, I want to say thanks for having Coach Little here to step in for Coach Hanson and your offensive line. That was fun, really talk to them, kind of get their feeling as not getting recognition like, DBs and receivers and quarterbacks and all that. I mean, you've heard it as long as you've played football. these guys are unsung heroes, and you got some good ones. I'm sure you're proud of them.
Oh, yeah, it's a great group. Coach Little's done a really good job with them. They're really tight-knit. They like each other. They take care of each other. And, I used to work with a guy in Georgia named Mike Hodges that had a big offensive lineman camp. And they always broke it down on the last of the hard, talking about in society, offensive linemen are the last of the tough guys.
Yeah.
And you think about it, they play a game that everybody wants to touch the ball, but they play it because they truly love what it stands for. They don't get to touch it.
Right.
The center does.
Yeah.
But they're always the ones that are getting hollered at, come on line, block, do whatever. They don't holler when they tie Master sunk with church, breaks a long run, way to block offensive line. So they're a special group, and they're really good. And most of them are juniors. They're going to be back, and they're really going to with a great off season. Those three you just talked to have a chance to be dominant linemen.
That's got to be exciting for next year.
Oh yeah, it is.
That is the starting point, and I know at the beginning of the year you were extremely excited about what could be this year, and you go back to the losses that we do have and how close they are and how it could have gone either way, and how really good a football team this is, and still have a lot of football left to play. And these guys are such a big part of it.
They are.
All right, Coach, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Let's see here. All right, first question. Let's say this. When we beat Cabot and Little Rock Southwest, what is your best guess on our playoff position?
When we beat those two, we will host a home game against the West number 5 team, which could be Rogers, Springdale Harbor, Bentonville West.
If you had to pick, I know you're looking pretty far in the future. Do you have a preference on who you'd like to play?
I just want to play at home.
Just play at home?
Play at home, doesn't matter who we get.
When's the last time we played at home? Was it when Trey was there?
I think that's right.
Yeah, and that was against Bentonville.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that is right. Yeah, it'd be nice to be able to play at home, like I said, regardless of who you play. All right, second question. This has to do with Walker Katsavis. Health-wise, and I think we talked about this a little bit earlier, he wasn't feeling well before the game. He had a finger injury during the game. You didn't see it. In fact, when I go back and look at the play, you still can't see it. So it wasn't recognizable during the game, but people want to know how he is, and you've talked a little bit on that. We also had Jet Frazier that you and Coach Frazier helped get him off the field, and Poom Savoy. How are these guys doing?
Everybody's good. Poom's good. Landed funny on his head. But he's fine. Jet, a little bummed up, but he's had a good week. And then Walker, he'll be good to go Friday. Going to have a little finger on his non-throwing hand that, we're going to do everything we can to take care of it. But he'll be fine, and we'll have everybody that we're supposed to have to play this Friday.
All right, Coach. Last Friday night, North Little Rock totaled 407 yards. We held them to 28 points, scoreless in the fourth quarter. This question is teams like Bryant, Conway, North Little Rock, Cabot that are capable of putting up a lot of points and a lot of yards. Do you guys ever talk about caps on yards? Like if we hold them to this, we have a good chance, and you don't want to let it get out of hand. But is there a number that you all talk about?
Well, defensively, they have goals. That they want to hold them to less than 200 passing and 150 rushing. I feel like if you do that against those kind of teams, you're going to have a chance. Want to hold them to 17 or 21 or less on scoring. And you think about football the way it's gone, it's really hard to do. And you look at the last 2-3 weeks, Conway 23-21, 28-21. We're in that realm of where we need to be. We just have to. We just got to score one more time. One more time than they do. So there's things, but we don't preach it to the kids as far as hey, you got to hold them to this.
Right.
Again, you go back to don't give up big plays.
Yeah.
make them work for what they get, which is what for the well, except for 2 big pass plays, what we did against North Little Rock, especially in the second half. Offensively, don't turn the ball over, don't get dumb penalties to hurt yourself and put yourself behind the chains. So for the most part, we've done that all year. We just got to keep doing it. The biggest thing, like I said earlier, is we've got to get over what's happened and look at what's coming, and that's what we've got to do.
Yeah. Well, Coach, we're looking forward to a competitive game. Hopefully the ball bounces our way. This time, it'd be nice to keep the stripes out of it and let us play football. That would be the first order of business, but we are going to be at home at Mayo Thompson, and we invite all of our fans, please, I think the weather's going to be good. It's probably going to be a little bit cool, but the rain should be out of here by Friday morning. So if you can make it to Mayo Thompson, please come. Boy, filling those stands makes such a big difference to the way our football team potentially can perform. It is an edge for us. Mayo Thompson's a hard place for an opposing team to come in and play. So if you can, kickoff is at 7. Get there early, get a seat, and we'd sure like to see the Grizzlies get off to a really good start and take some of the pressure off, once you get into that last quarter, Coach.
That's right. Take the pressure off. But, no, we're going to have to play the entire football game. Yeah. And it's going to be a physical football game. And I think our guys are ready.
Well, Coach, thank you again for being here. Thank you to Walk-Ons for hosting the Mike Fleur Show. Next week, we'll be at Little Rock Southwest.
Correct.
But we do want to say thank you to Dylan. We want to say thank you to Caleb for being here. He's handling the camera. Dylan, he's our producer. Appreciate everything that he does. Coach Hankins, I see you in here somewhere. Yeah, baseball coach. He's come in. Thank you for being here. Dr. Stites, Jason Green, they're here again. Every week we appreciate them. Coach Little, Ashton. Also want to say thank you to Stacy and Alex Kitsavis. It's a lot of fun to be able to come into a place like this. You've already eaten. I get to eat as soon as we get through, so I got that to look forward to. But, again, we'll be here next week, Wednesday night. Kickoff this Friday will be at 7 o'clock. Pregame, or the coaches show will come on at 6:30 on Grizzly TV. Pregame at 6:45, then kickoff at 7. So between now and then, stay safe, be prosperous, and, Coach, go Bears.
Go Bears.
At Hug Chevrolet Buick GMC, we dial 782-8940.
This is Joe Calderera with Taliano's Restaurant. We call 782-8940.
Keep warm this winter with a York high-efficiency furnace, or for more information on endless hot water and a high-efficiency tankless water heater, give Blaylock Heating, Air, and Plumbing Services a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
Do good when you eat good. Level up your to-go order by donating to the Walk-Ons Game On Foundation, supporting youth athletics and their communities. Game on!
You're watching Grizzly TV.